Most of us have probably heard of Whole Foods, but maybe you haven't been there. Whether you're a frequent shopper or a first-timer, here are some tips you can use to make your shopping experience better. Here's what you need to know before you head to Whole Foods. If you're looking for both unique dry goods and pantry staples at a bargain price, the bulk bin aisle should be your first stop at Whole Foods, especially when trying out a new recipe or a new ingredient. If you head here instead of the more traditional shelves, you can buy exactly the amount you need. That's great for you because if it turns out you actually hate eating massive amounts of quinoa for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you won't be left with a ton of it to throw away, let go to waste, or a lot to try to guilt yourself into eating. On the other end of the spectrum, it's a good way to stock up on pantry items you know you'll use often. Ingredients as diverse as pink Himalayan salt, nutritional yeast, black lentils, and dried mulberry can all be found in the Whole Foods bulk bins along with all kinds of grains and seeds. And while they're usually much less expensive compared to the items sold on the shelf, availability can vary by location. Another advantage of buying bulk is doing away with all the extra packaging that pre-packaged goods come in. Not only does it save you money on the product itself, but it's also better for the environment. You can even bring reusable containers in from home, and all you'll need to do is have the cashier zero out the weight before you fill your containers up. The one ingredient you might want to skip getting from the Whole Foods bulk bins? Nuts, which you can find for almost 50% less elsewhere. If there's a product you already know you love, that you use often, and doesn't show up in the bulk area, consider buying it by the case. Whole Foods offers case discounts of 10% on most items, and you can see how many units are included in a case on the shelf tag for most products. This is a great way to save on things like pet food, canned goods, and paper products that you know you'll end up using and which won't go bad if they linger a while in the pantry. You can get the 10% discount for buying large quantities of other items too. Take Wind Down Wednesdays. That's when you can get 10% off your first 1 to 5 bottles and another 10% off when you buy 6 or more. There's a 10% discount to be had at the bulk bins too for shoppers who load up on 25 pounds or more. As long as it's not going to waste, it's worth it. And that's where you may have to do some serious meal planning before taking advantage of these offers. This depends on location, but inside many of the chain stores, you can find a coffee shop, a juice bar, and even a wine and beer bar. But things there are changing. In the past, when you ordered an iced beverage at the coffee bar or a cold juice or smoothie at the juice bar, you would also receive a plastic straw. That will no longer be the case as of July 2019 as Whole Foods became the first major grocery store in the US to ban plastic straws. Whole Foods estimates that banning the straws and making other changes in their packaging will eliminate more than 800,000 pounds of plastic waste each and every year. In lieu of plastic straws, the company says it will offer Forest Stewardship Council-certified recyclable and compostable paper straws, but they will have plastic straws available on request for customers with disabilities. Want to go one step further? Bring your own reusable straw with you if you're going to grab a cold drink while you shop, and help reduce waste even more. Nothing at Whole Foods is less tantalizing than their salad bar, hot bar, and prepared foods counter. But there's a huge downside to giving in to your cravings at the food bar. It gets expensive.
I love shopping at Whole Foods because I love organic produce and I cannot stand having money.
Though price varies by location, you'll usually find the salad and hot bar items priced at about $8.99 a pound. This is much more expensive per pound than most of the ingredients you'd find in a salad, so you need to be careful about what you add to your bowl if you want to make the most of your money. Some tips? Don't take the biggest container or you might find yourself mindlessly loading it until it weighs 4 pounds more than you were intending. If you're making a salad, base your bowl around a lighter item, like spring mix or fluffy couscous, and use heavier ingredients sparingly. Weigh your bowl as you go using the scales in the produce section, and it'll help you avoid sticker shock. Use salad dressing you already have at home, or pour your dressing into one of the small containers they have on offer, as they don't cost extra, and it won't be counted as part of the salad's overall weight. At the hot bar, choose boneless meats over bone-in, and consider skipping the side dishes in favor of a salad from a bag, steamable frozen veggies, or another simple side that costs less per weight than what Whole Foods has on offer in the prepared food section. Whole Foods sells thousands of exclusive brands, which means that if there's a specific brand or product you're used to buying at a different grocery store chain, you might not be able to find the same exact products at Whole Foods. Once you do start throwing things in your cart, you might also notice that prices at Whole Foods can be a little high, about 15% more expensive than other grocery chains, including Kroger, Wegmans, and Safeway. That's why you should keep your eyes out for the affordable 365 Everyday Value store brand. Like most store brands, these products tend to be less expensive than their more traditional and widely available name brand counterparts by about 23%, and you'll save more on some products than others. To get the biggest bang for your buck, consider the 365 brand for staples like sandwich bread, eggs, ground beef, pasta sauce, yogurt, and more. For the steepest discounts, look ahead for the Whole Foods 365 brand products that are on sale. Build your grocery list for the week around these items, and you could end up spending less than you expected the next time you shop. Whole Foods may have started as a relatively small grocery store with less than 20 employees, but these days the natural grocer is owned by Amazon, meaning it's run by one of the most powerful companies in the country. This is a very good thing for bargain seekers because shoppers who have an Amazon Prime account can actually get special discounts and deals at Whole Foods locations and on Whole Foods items online. Prime members will get special deals throughout the store. Just look for the blue signs that denote those deals. They'll also get an additional 10% off many items that are already on sale, which are marked with yellow signs. Other deals available for Prime members only will also be marked throughout the store. To redeem your deals before you pay, you can simply give the phone number associated with your Amazon account at the register or download the Whole Foods app, which will be scanned at the register so you can get your discount.
There we go. Thank you very much. Please come again. We have a lot more groceries.
Even better, in April 2019, the chain started giving out even more exclusive weekly deals for Prime members and slashed prices on hundreds of other items throughout the store. Sometimes you'll come across a great deal at the store, only to realize that the package size is just too big. Other times, you just need a little bit of an extra special cheese to make a dish sing, but you don't want to fork over big bucks for more than you'll use. Remember, food waste is a huge problem. That's where Whole Foods customer service comes in handy. Head to the cheese counter, produce section, the butcher, or the deli section and ask the associate from the corresponding department if they can cut the item you need down to size. For instance, if you only need a half of a standing rib roast or a few slices of bacon, the butcher can recut and repackage them for you. You can get large wedges of cheese cut into much smaller pieces. You can ask for loaves of bread to be sliced. You can even ask someone to cut a particularly large cabbage, squash, or jackfruit into a smaller piece for you. They'll often use the remainder in a salad and hot bar item prep or pre-cut and put back on the shelf. No waste. It's also a great way to sample new products in a more affordable quantity before deciding to go all in. But remember, this is all done at employee discretion. When Whole Foods opened its doors in 1978, it was a lot like a typical grocery store, just with healthier specialty ingredients. Since then, a lot has changed, including the opening of their very first in-store bar in 2009. As of 2017, there were more than 200 bars operating in Whole Foods stores across the country, and a couple of Whole Foods stores, one in Houston and one in San Jose, actually brew beer at the store itself. Whole Foods pours wines and beers that are actually for sale in the store, from a selection that varies by location. That means you can try one of the bottles they're pouring from at the bar, then decide whether or not you like it before springing for an entire bottle or six-pack, or picking it up for your next dinner party. Sitting at the bar at Whole Foods is also a good opportunity to chat with the bartender about the best values in the beer and wine department too, and they could very well have a few budget favorites that didn't make it into any promotional literature. Many of the bars within Whole Foods have specials that run throughout the week. Look for events like local beer specials, different promotions, and special events. Every weekday is a busy day, but it just might be worth it to carve some extra time out of your schedule for a midweek shopping trip because of a lot of grocery stores, Whole Foods included, turn over their weekly sale items on Wednesday. A new batch of discounted items goes up for sale, and last week's items usually go back to standard pricing. Wednesday is the day of the week when the store will have the highest stock of their weekly sale items, and even better, Wednesday morning is actually the best time to shop too, with great deals and less crowded aisles. We all know how uncomfortable a busy grocery store can get.
Sarah, Claire,
Also, keep an eye out for your store's Friday one-day sale, which features, quote, a different item from a different department at an exceptionally low price. You can usually find them listed in your store's weekly flyer and by the signage in the store, or you can call your local store for more details and find out if they participate. The thought of downloading yet another store-specific app might make you want to take some drastic action against technology as a whole, but the Whole Foods app can help you save money the next time you go shopping. There are a couple of different ways that the Whole Foods app can help you make the most out of your trip. First, you can use the app to get exclusive coupons, or to see what items are on sale for the current week, then build your shopping list based on those items to help save money. The app will also show you which products are on sale exclusively for Prime members that week. By building your meals around the discounted items, you could lower your grocery bill more than you might expect. On top of the weekly sales, you can also see special events and offers at your local store. Second, it's one of the ways that you can redeem your Prime benefits at the store. Just download the Whole Foods app, connect it to your Amazon Prime account, and have the cashier scan the QR code in your app so you can get your deals. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite stores are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.